Charlize Theron isn't only a movie star, she's living proof that you can walk out of the dark, get knocked down by the next storm, and still rise taller than before. We remember the raw heartbreak of Aileen Wuornos in Monster, the ferocity of Furiosa in Mad Max, Fury Road, and the cool command of the Queen in Snow White and the Huntsman. But behind the roles is a daughter who survived one night that split her life in two, an artist who turned pain into craft, and a mother who built a quiet, protective world for her children. Her beauty dazzled. Her strength redefined what power looks like on screen. For more than 3 decades, she has stood at the crossing of glory and grief, transforming private wounds into enduring art. And now, at 50, she's meeting her fiercest season with clarity. She was born on August 7th, 1975 in Benoni, South Africa, an only child in a weather-beaten farmhouse where money was scarce, and silence did a lot of the talking. Her father, Charles, chased construction work that paid too little. Her mother, Gerda, stretched every rand and somehow kept gentleness alive in the house. Illness marked Charlize's childhood. Jaundice, harsh medication, teeth that failed too soon, and school could be cruel. Ballet became her first escape at 6. By 13, she'd earned a spot at the National School of the Arts in Johannesburg. Then came the night that changed everything. Her father came home drunk and violent. Charlize and Gerda locked a door. The chaos mounted. When he tried to force his way in, Gerda acted to protect her child. One gunshot ended it. Authorities ruled it self-defense. For Charlize, it was the end of childhood and the beginning of a lifelong vow. Survive. And keep moving. In 1991, at 16, with borrowed money and her mother's blessing, she flew to Milan. Modeling wasn't glamour. It was cold flats, shared rooms, and bread stretched across days. By 1994, she headed to New York and the Joffrey Ballet School, convinced dance could rebuild her. A severe knee injury ended that dream overnight. In 1995, she landed in Los Angeles with a suitcase, a couch to crash on, and a mother's check that a bank refused to cash. Her public meltdown in that line caught the eye of manager John Crosby. An audition followed. The door finally cracked open. The Devil's Advocate, 1997, made her visible alongside Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. The Cider House Rules, in 1999, added depth. Critics talked about her work, not just her looks. And then Monster, 2003. To inhabit Aileen Wuornos, she put on 30 pounds, altered her face, and stripped away all vanity. Roger Ebert called it one of the greatest film performances ever. The Oscar, the Globe, and the SAG Award followed. The applause was deafening. Inside, she felt hollow. The industry wanted more pain. During Aeon Flux, 2005, a mid-air stunt went wrong. She landed on her neck. Production shut down for 6 weeks, and doctors warned the damage could linger. It did. She still finished the film. That same year, North Country brought a second Oscar nomination and channeled her anger into purpose. She wanted control, not just roles. In 2007, she launched Denver and Delilah Productions. The early years reportedly lost more than $4 million, but she kept at it, because legacy is built, not handed over. Hancock 2008 exploded to $629 million worldwide. Young Adult 2011 stripped away glamour. Snow White and the Huntsman and Prometheus 2012 restored scale. And Mad Max Fury Road 2015 tested every scar, a shaved head, sandstorms, and months in a desert that felt endless. Furiosa didn't posture, she endured. The physical cost piled up. A brutal stomach infection in 2009, 2 teeth cracked from clenching during fight training on Atomic Blonde, surgery, a bone graft, an implant, months of pain. For Tully 2018, she gained 50 pounds. The hormonal crash left her sleepless and depressed for more than a year. On the old guard, a torn thumb led to 3 surgeries and half a year of rehab. In 2025, filming Apex, she fractured a toe doing a fight without a harness. She jokes about getting the shot, but the scars tell the truth. They're not wounds, she said. They're reminders I lived through things I didn't think I could. Love, for her, arrived in chapters, and each taught a different lesson. In 1995, there was Craig Bierko, a Broadway standout who brought steadiness when everything else felt temporary. As her career accelerated, they drifted. Then Stephen Jenkins of Third Eye Blind, blazing chemistry, late-night songs, and, eventually, jealousy and noise. The breakup lived on in his lyrics. She answered by moving forward. With Stuart Townsend, everything slowed. They met in 2001 on Trapped, moved in, and for nearly 9 years built a private, ordinary life. Coffee, scripts, dogs, ocean air. No ceremony, but a shared promise. When they finally parted in 2010, it wasn't scandal. It was two good people walking different speeds. In 2013 came Sean Penn, two veterans with matching battle scars. For a while, it felt like home. Dinners with Gerda, long conversations, a future that made sense. Then the closeness grew suffocating. Love can survive distance, she said. It can't survive disrespect. In 2015, while filming, she ended it cleanly and quietly. The tabloids called it ghosting. She called it survival. Years later, he spoke of her without bitterness. She answered with peace. Motherhood recentered everything. In 2012, she adopted Jackson from South Africa. In 2015 August, "I didn't rescue my children," she said. "They rescued me." She did it as a single mom, juggling night shoots and school mornings, red carpets and Play-Doh on sweaters. When Jackson, born male, began expressing herself as a girl, Charlize listened first. In 2019, she put it plainly. "Yes, I thought she was a boy too, until she looked at me and said, 'I am not a boy.' So there you go. I have two beautiful daughters, and my job as their mother is to protect them." The world kept trying to script her personal life. Headlines about George Clooney, Keanu Reeves, Brad Pitt, and in 2023, photos with model Alex Dimitrievich. She neither confirmed nor denied. "I'm not lonely," she said. "I'm raising my kids. My heart is full." Purpose widened beyond Hollywood. Through the Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, founded in 2007, she's helped raise over $20 million for youth programs, education, and HIV prevention across southern Africa. She returns often, not as a celebrity, but as a daughter who remembers. The career remains on her terms. She earns nearly $15 million per major role, and since 2004, her partnership with Dior's J'adore has added significant income. Her net worth now exceeds $170 million, built the long way, by showing up again and again. She lives in Los Angeles in a sun-filled home worth more than $6 million, retreats to a Malibu place valued around $8.5 million, and keeps a New York penthouse near Tribeca purchased for $4.5 million as a creative base. The garage isn't a showroom. It's practical. A Range Rover, a Tesla Model S, and a lovingly restored 1969 Chevrolet Camaro she calls Therapy on Wheels. Gerda still anchors the family. Jackson is 13, August is 9. 3 generations under one roof, choosing ordinary over spectacle, drop-offs, homework, dogs on the sofa, art projects on the fridge. She practices yoga or boxes in the morning, flies commercial, shops at farmers markets, and talks openly about aging and menopause. "I don't fight age," she says. "I live it." As a producer at Denver and Delilah, she backs stories about truth, courage, and real women. She mentors younger filmmakers and pushes for equal pay. "It took me 30 years to have a voice," she said. "Now I'll use it for others who don't." She's filming a The Old Guard sequel for Netflix and developing a new action epic slated for 2025, but there's no heat to prove anything anymore. "I don't have to," she says. "I just want to tell the truth beautifully." If you strip away the spotlights, what remains is simple. A woman who outlived the hardest night of her life, who crossed oceans at 16, who rebuilt again and again, who chose motherhood with both hands, who wears her scars like map pins, not excuses. Beauty fades, trophies gather dust, headlines evaporate, resilience stays. At 50, Charlize Theron doesn't stand in the glow of fame so much as in the steadiness she built herself. She has everything she ever wanted, and none of it came easy. Maybe that's why she guards it so carefully. Maybe that's why it shines.